What's going on, world? You already know who it is. It's your boy, the real Kareem Rashid, your host of Clearing the Wreckage. And today I got a really great episode for you. I want you to just sit back, relax, and enjoy yourself. Let your mind be free and just walk with me on this journey, because this is a journey that we're taking together of clearing the wreckage. Yes, indeed. I want to thank you so much for being here today. And I want to go ahead and jump in right now to episode 2, Clearing the Wreckage. What's going on, world? What's going on, folks? All right, so you're probably wondering, we did a first episode. I set the scene with you. I told you exactly what wreckage is from my viewpoint. I gave an analogy of an accident, of a wreck that happens. Maybe it happened in front of you, or it happened while you were driving by and you see all the wreckage after the accident, right? So we talked about that. We discussed that. We see all this debris. We see shards of just nastiness all over the road. We got cops everywhere trying to make sure that we go around the wreckage and that nothing happens to our car, trying to, pass through. So everybody's there kind of barricading the accident, just kind of, making sure that we're good to go, right? And so then later, moments later, maybe hours later, maybe even a day later, who knows how long it actually takes to clear the wreckage. But the ideal is that everybody is there involved. You got the wrecker truck, taking the car. Everybody is there that has come to clear the wreckage. So that's where it began. A wreck happened, and then cops were called onto the scene. And then as we drove by, we saw all this wreckage. So that is where it starts. That's where it happens now. As for this episode, we're going to talk about, are we able to see the wreckage? Now, on this podcast, you'll realize that Kareem will be talking in first person most of the time. Why? Because I'm the star of the show. You're not. This ain't about you, man. This is about me. You're supposed to be watching me, listening to me, all that. This is about me. This is the Kareem show. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I'm talking in first person from first person experience. So what I mean by that is I'm not here to talk about you, to talk about your problems and try to fix you and change you and transform you and mold you into something that I want. That is not my motivation for doing this podcast. My motivation for doing the podcast is to invite you along on this journey with me. That is my intentions. That is my motivation. I'm saying that out loud to you so that you can know who you're listening to. You can know I have not arrived. I have not graduated. I am not on a pedestal. I am not, Mr. PhD giving a speech to everyone and saying, this is what you need to do. That is not me. What I am here to do is share with you my mess. And because my mess and my wreck and my wreckage has turned into a message, and I want to share with you my journey. So come on along. Enjoy the ride. Come along. Let's do it together. All right? So this is about togetherness. This is about oneness. This is about unity. This is about being aligned with one another in accordance with one another, spirit upon spirit. This has nothing to do with physical. All right? So tap in with me, zoom in, let's go. We saw all of the wreckage from the accident. The only problem is that we, the bystanders, the people that drove by, we saw the wreckage. The person that was in the accident, even the person that probably caused the accident, could have got out of the car and was like, oh my God, why did you? It's your fault. It's your fault. You're responsible. The other person could have been just in dismay or not, just confused. Like, man, my car. Or just stunned. May not even realize that all of this has happened until they get back home or they wake up in the hospital from a coma. Who knows really what's going to happen, after the accident? Who knows how bad the accident was? Who really knows? But the bystanders, what we see when we drive by, we see a bunch of wreckage and we go, oh my goodness. Pray that everybody is okay. For the most part, when we drive by, those are our thoughts. We're like, man, God, I pray that everybody's okay. I know that at least those are my thoughts. And then we start to examine like, oh man, I wonder how bad it was. Oh, that looks bad. That looks really bad. So that's all on the outside. We don't know what really happened on the inside with these people. Unless the inside matched the outside. Like I said, with the person getting out the car, being frustrated, being upset, blaming the other person. Why did you? And then you can see that their insides are pretty wrecked up. But we weren't on the scene. So we don't know that. Now, the person that's doing that probably doesn't know that they got a bunch of wreckage on the inside of them also. That is where we begin with this episode. I did not know. I had so much wreckage until, and I still didn't know until months upon months after. But when I knew something was wrong, it's when my mother kicked me out of her house. And she said, I'm done. I'm done with you. I can't do this anymore. Y'all don't know my mom. My mom is the most kind-hearted, generous, loving, compassionate person that I know on this earth. Right? That is my mother. My mother never punished me. Never. Yes, you can say, oh, she never punished you because you're spoiled. Yes, I was spoiled. I was a spoiled brat. At the same time, though, it was her heart. She was very, very kind. So to have my mother kick me out of her home was a game changer. Was a revelation to me that, oops, I wrecked this relationship. Oops, there must be really something wrong with me. Now, when I got kicked out, I was upset. I did not understand why I was being kicked out. What's wrong with you, Mom, for kicking me out? There's something wrong with you. Little did I know, I was the problem. I was the one with the wreckage, right? So I drifted off and I went and had nowhere to go. She did not care where I went. In fact, she was done with me completely. She told me to not call her, do not come running. There is nothing else that she will do for me. Nothing. With that being said, folks, that was when, later on, months later, after living in the woods, by the way, because I had nowhere to go. Months later, I realized, oh yeah, I'm wrecked. There's some wreckage must be on the inside of me that comes out and causes this chaos, causes relationships to break, not men to break. So there must be some wreckage, right? That was where I started. I started by, well, just that was the indicator, basically, is what I'm saying. That was the indicator that there must be something, some type of wreckage inside of me that caused my relationship with my mother to break, to split. Oh my gosh. With that being said, folks, you can go on all your life with someone telling you about yourself. Somebody saying, hey man, hey, you're a jerk. Or hey man, that wasn't nice. You shouldn't have did that. Or hey, you shouldn't have said that. Or hey, all you think about is yourself, Kareem. Now that went on for years upon years, lifetimes upon lifetimes that I traveled back and forth upon this earth. That went on without me realize those all were indicators. I did not take any of those signs or signals to to let the light bulb hit and go, oh, There were people that left me. There were people that just didn't want anything to do with me. I wrecked up relationships with my bosses. I wrecked up any employment I had. I lost jobs. I lost homes. I couldn't live anywhere. I mean, I was a wreck. There was so much wreckage, but I did not take in or take heed to any of the signals and the indicators that, hey, Kareem, there's some wreckage here that needs to be cleared up, buddy. Let's go. Let's start clearing some wreckage. Instead, I just piled on more and more and more and more dirt, more and more just broken glass, metal, all types of scraps were just hanging upon me as I walked. There was so much weight. There was so much wreckage upon my flesh, and it was seeping into the insides faster than I knew it. I'm telling you. So where did I get the hint or the indicator? I got it when my mother kicked me out of her home. That was the indicator. I did not take heed to it until months later when it was finally revealed to me that, OMG, I've created a bunch of wreckage in my life. So with that being said, that's pretty much the end of this episode. That's what this episode is about. This episode is sharing with you the wreckage that I created and I caused. And how did that wreckage come upon? I should share that with you. I got kicked out of my mother's house due to my alcoholism and addiction. I am now a recovering alcoholic and addict. Thank God that my mom kicked me out of the house. Woo! Thank God she did. Now I'm 8 years sober and clean, and I'm so grateful that my mother, years ago, kicked me out of that house, because little did I know it was going to boost me onto a journey of not only self-discovery, but a journey of recovery and sobriety. And I'm so grateful for that. So I just want to thank you guys for tuning in with me today. I'm going to leave you with this poem real quick that kind of just shares with you a little bit about who I am and not necessarily who I am, but yeah, who I am, the wreckage that is inside of me, that I am now clearing. And I'm so grateful to be clearing it. I'm so grateful that you are here joining me on this journey. And then you can kind of see that, yeah, I didn't know. This is what I was just doing every day. Man, go ahead and drink, man. Go ahead and drink, bro. Go ahead and drink, man. Go ahead and snort that, bro. Like, go ahead and smoke, man. Whatever, bro. Like, it's all good, man. This is what you do. This is what you do. You do this every day. This is who you are. There's nothing wrong with that. There's no problem. There's no problem with you doing that. Like, drugs are cool. Drinking is great. Everybody does it. You don't have a problem. But I had a problem because my drinking and my drugging wasn't normal like most people's. Most people who aren't addicts and alcoholics, they can drink and stop. I could not stop. Most people that are not addicts, they could use a drug and they could be like, oh, okay, I'm okay. I don't have to do that again. I could not stop doing it. That is the difference between probably me and you, or me with most people, unless you're listening to this and you're a recovering alcoholic and addict like me. And I'm glad to have you here. So anyway, I'm going to share this poem, and then so that way you can kind of hear what it was like, and you can kind of hear, you know what I'm saying, like, hey, man, what I did to, well, yeah, where it begun for me, where it kind of started. This is called Addict. Lines of cocaine spinning, 360 on a ball, 8 figure, skate, blades, scrape up the ice, blind mice running into things trying to find the cheese, survive. Life ain't free, base, yet still not home safe, cannot escape fears. Been living this way for years and feeling this way, but still don't know how to cope with what I'm dealing with. Tears, liquor and beers down my throat. Hope only comes for a little while. Smoke, cigarettes and weed. The only time I feel I can breathe is when I inhale in my chest. And I inhale, I feel myself burning inside my flesh. Man, just keep getting high, man, cause what the hell, I'm already a mess. Yes, I guess this is the life. I'm out of your mind, out of my mind, take flight. No one can really see me, I'm out of sight. Vice versa, hiding in plain sight. All of my madness, I write in cursive. Pretentious, pretending my life, one big rehearsal. My disease doesn't really care if I did that. Urkel. I'm disastrous. Disaster is ahead. Signs everywhere. Lights red. But right now I'm speeding, so I sped through. Keep running. I wish you would feel for me, but I am the clown in the classes. Great actor. I can do this stage acting with no practicing. Masking all of my fears. Liquid courage fills my belly and my head up. You couldn't tell me nothing, don't get me fed up. Lost consciousness, forgot what I was scared of. Anyway, just play the music. I'ma keep abusing these drugs and think about my childhood and wonder why I never felt loved. Open up another bag and dump it on the table and put some on my tongue. I must taste it. Now that's the feeling of love. Drink some more, get wasted. Roll up 2 cigars laced with just a little bit of green and a lot of snowflakes. Now turn up the tunes and let the bass hit. Light it. Take a bass hit. Man, I love getting high and drunk. All alone, off in the zone, but I'm lit and ready to do something dangerous. This is the way it gets. But I'm stuck in my addiction and I can't fight the feeling. I love the way it hits. I forget I was told, watch the company you keep and who you hanging with. But liquor and coke and weed was always there. They were my favorite friends. But then they turned against me, up in emergency room with no room to breathe, out of my chest. What kind of pain is this? Locked in a cell, now I dwell in a cage with men? I lost every home I lived in. We done putting up with you. Get out, you've been evicted. Homeless, living in the woods. If you haven't lost anything, there is still a yet, and it could happen. I only felt relief on that day I hit my knees and truly started asking, God help me, I'm an addict. that's where it begun. That's where the indicator actually clicked for me. All right, y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me on this journey. I will leave you with this. Take time to look inside so that the wreckage can begin to clear. Have a wonderful day. Peace.